Well, hello, boys and girls. It's Pearl of Wisdom time. And we are live here on Tuesday evening at 5:30 p.m., 7:30 Eastern. Uh, all NHL all the time. Not very much news going on here, so we're gonna get lots of concurrent viewers, five at least, and we're gonna finish off this general managers. I should share this out too. It worked last time. I shared it to the NHL. NHL. Let me see here. Start there. We'll see what happens. What do we got? Anybody here yet? Nope. Nobody here yet. Oh, here we go. We got one in here. How you doing? Whoever's there, tell me who you are. Just sharing it out to the live. We're going to be rating general managers if we can get 5 concurrent viewers at least. Yesterday we finished at the Ottawa Senators. We're going to be rating from A to F. The Ottawa Senators got a big C plus for. Why did I put Senators and then Senators? What you're hearing? Jack Eichel trade is imminent. Are you hearing the Jack Eichel trade is imminent there, Weichel? Because that would be something interesting to talk about for sure. Where are you hearing this from? Well, we know we might get traded sometime. He's going to get traded. There's no way he's not going to get traded. It's just a question of really when and for how much. Yeah, Top Shelf Hockey does a lot of that. He says that the trade is imminent. We should actually put Top Shelf, that guy, his stuff on there. I saw something about Forsberg too. I didn't watch the actual video, but it's. I know Forsberg has a contract coming up. I don't know what Nashville's doing. I have no idea. Like, you keep Forsberg, then what? I mean, if I'm a general manager, I look at my team and I'm like, how do I compare against Tampa Bay, New York Islanders, and Colorado right now? Basically, the 3 teams that are most contenders, and maybe Vegas. And you look at Nashville and you look at those 4 teams and you go, I'm not even close. So if I'm not even close, how close will I be in 3 years with what I have? The answer? No closer. Duchesne's not getting any better. Johansson's not getting any better. Seriously, why keep Forsberg now? Like, if he's begging to stay, I suppose you got a guy to build. If he wants to build around that, but he should be looking at ways to get rid of Johansson and Duchesne and to get out of this situation that he's in, not looking to, add to this. What's going to save this for that lineup? Like, I don't see what's going to save Nashville. I don't see where like one or two moves is going to make that team significantly better with what they have. Like one free agent, say. Unless it was like, even if they got Jack Eichel right now, let's put it that way. Even if they got Jack Eichel, let's say for some reason they were able to trade next year's first, Tolvanen. Hey, Turkey, how you doing, buddy? I'm sure Philip Forsberg wants a lot of money. I don't see what the point of signing Philip Forsberg is. I just don't see it. I'd be looking to trade him at the deadline and rebuild this team. Those Johansson and Duchesne contracts are just an absolute albatross. So what do you like? I don't know what to do with those. You can't like they're too early into their contracts to retain them, or to retain or buy them out. You gotta hope. I don't know. Even if they want to rebuild, like Nashville's in a very difficult spot. If they want to rebuild, they don't have enough. They don't really have players to do much except for possibly Forsberg. How are you going to rebuild? How are you even going to retool, though? The fact of the matter is, Duchesne and Johansson are going to make that team not good enough to go anywhere. That's simple as that. You're paying $8 million to Johansson, $8 million to Duchesne. What are you going to retool? You're with those two players. There is virtually nothing you can do apart from, like you said, Askarov comes in and is like the second coming of Vasilevsky. Even at that, even if he is the second coming of Vasilevsky, Askarov, this lineup still is not a contender. Like, they're so far away from being a contender because of those two contracts. They're talking about signing Ekman. They're talking about Ekholm, I mean. They're talking about signing Ekholm. It looks like they're going to sign Ekholm. Well, if you're going to do that, then sign Forsberg and just barely make the playoffs or miss the playoffs and take your middle-of-the-road draft pick and eventually just continue being a middle-of-the-road team unless you can catch lightning in a bottle and get a superstar with one of those picks in the middle rounds or something like that. Like, it's a bad situation. I don't think Askarov is better than Vasilevsky. Well, we'll see about that. Askarov has had two World Juniors that were not very good in a row. Sorokin had as good a numbers as Askarov. We'll see about that. I like him a lot, but I'm not going to say that he's better than Vasilevsky yet. That's like pretty much. That's saying that he's Dominik Hasek. He's Dominik Hasek. $7 million. You could probably get that on the open market. Ekholm wants $7 million. He can probably get that on the open market. I don't know if he, at this stage of his career, if that's wise. That's why I would trade him. Like, I don't know what they're doing. I don't get it. It's signing Ekholm to me is just frivolous. It doesn't make any sense. The Ellis trade was a good idea. Get Myers, get picks. I don't know what Patrick was all about, but yeah, I mean, he's had very good. I mean, he has great. Yeah, he put out great performances, but so did Vasilevsky when he was in junior, and so did Sorokin. They did unbelievable things. But he also had two poor World Junior Championships, where Vasilevsky did not. So his first World Juniors were terrible, really bad. I was so surprised. I don't know what happened there, but and there's been talk about attitude issues with them. So who did Seattle pick from Nashville? You know what? I don't even remember now. Who did Seattle pick from Nashville? Kulak, no. Kulak is Montreal. Who did they pick from Nashville? Frank Kulak is Montreal. I'm looking for Seattle. Cal Yarncroc. They took Cal Yarncroc, and again, I'm surprised that they protected Yarn. They didn't protect Yarncroc. They are the most confusing team. You can't tell which direction they're going. Yarncroc, yeah. Yarncroc gave him the graviest deal. He took a $2 million a year contract for 7 or 8 years just so he could stay in Nashville. He said it himself. He just wanted his family to live in Nashville, and he could have got more money for sure. And then they expose him to the draft and let him go after he was basically did you a favor for your cap for 8 years. I don't know. Poyle to me has turned out to be the worst general manager there is. He's just terrible. Either that or there's a whole bunch of conflicting stuff going on with the owners and him, because I have no idea. He has no real direction, it seems, for that team at all. He makes bad choices. The only good choice he made was the one that stands out to me was the Forsberg deal when they traded Irat to Washington for Forsberg. That was a great move. They have developed they have amazing development of their defensemen there, but overall, he just did very poorly. We did no, yeah, we did. What did we give him? I gave him a C minus. I probably should have given him worse than that. Just do one thing. Are you rebuilding or are you not rebuilding, or what are you doing? It just doesn't seem to be any direction one way or the other for them, and that usually ends up being like what the Minnesota Wild have been for the last how many years. Just a middle of the road, lose in the first round, get middle of the road draft picks, be a middle of the road team over and over and over again. I should. I think Zach Parise just has very few options, actually. I don't know. He's probably holding out for a certain specific team. There's probably like teams out there saying, just wait it out. We'll see what happens with the market, with our young guys and stuff like that. Either that or they have a deal in place with the team that needs to get into the regular season for cap reasons. But I don't see him getting much more than $1 million from anybody that he goes to. Who did I hear him going to? I heard a team that he may go to, and I can't remember what it was. Like guys like teams like the Dallas Stars have to get some cap space. Maybe they're saying a team like the Dallas Stars or maybe even the Tampa Bay Lightning could be saying, you know what, wait till Seabrook comes off the books in the regular season and we'll give you $1 million contract or whatever. Like, I wouldn't doubt at all that he goes to Tampa Bay to win a cup. I think that's probably what's happening. Like, he probably has a deal in place with the team that is a little bit over the cap, or doesn't have any room, but has guys that they can put on the LTIR once the season starts, and then they'll give him the contract. Then they can give him like a tryout contract. And then he goes there. It's just a formality. Like, he's going to make the roster, but it doesn't go on the cap, so he can go to training camp and all that kind of stuff like that. And then I would think so. I don't know. I mean, the rumors that he's asking for $5 million a year, he won't be going to the Islanders, I don't think. I mean, they've taken care of him pretty good. I don't see him asking for $5 million. It's possible he might be saying he wants $5 million to go to another team. That's what it would get to take him. That's how much it would take for him to not sign with the Islanders. But I don't think the Islanders are going to pay him $5 million there. I can't see it. If they do, then they don't get their scorer that apparently they're looking into getting. I don't even know if they'd be able to sign Palmieri if they do that. They wouldn't be able to sign Palmieri. So I just find it very hard to believe that he'll sign for $5 million with the Islanders. Bergevin used to play with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Yeah, he was a defenseman, wasn't he? I'm going to share this to a few places. Where is everybody tonight? Claude Julien played. A lot of general managers played. Didn't Bruce Cassidy play? Dallas Eakins played. Dallas Eakins played a lot, actually. I don't think Armstrong did. Trey Living didn't. Benning did. Benning played. I mean, in the NHL, that is. Gallant, of course, coach who played. Drury. There are a lot of. It seems to be a lot more players now. Ever since the Sakic and Yzerman, Bill Guerin. Florida, not Zito. Bill Zito didn't play. Joel Quenneville did play. Joel Quenneville played. Oh, did he? He was on the Miracle of Ice team? Wow. Miracle on Ice team? Wow. New York Islanders. Lamoriello didn't play. Barry Trotz didn't play in the league. Tortorella didn't play, I don't believe. Kekalainen didn't play. Not in the NHL anyways. O'Reilly did, of course. Tippett. Dave Tippett did play. Dave Tippett played. Tippett played for Carolina, Pittsburgh. I want to say Pittsburgh. Kenny Holland did not. This is interesting. Quenneville we already did. Sakic, Yzerman, Drury played, yeah. Of course, Brindamore played. Waddell, yeah. Colaton didn't play. I'm not sure, did Ballard play? I don't know if Ballard played or not. I know Stan didn't. Jim Campbell played for that, okay. Bednar played a little bit. Sakic, of course, did. Jim Nill did not. Rick Bowness played. A lot of these guys played. Rick Bowness, Kekalainen did not. Steve Yzerman, Florida Panthers, LA Kings. Oh, Rob Blake. Can't forget Rob Blake. Bill Guerin, Bergevin. Poyle did not. Fitzgerald, I do believe, played. If it's the same Fitzgerald I'm thinking. Lou Lamoriello, I don't think played, did he? Dorian did not. I don't believe. Chuck Fletcher didn't play. His father was Cliff Fletcher was a general manager as well, though. Hextall certainly played. Brendan Shannon played for Detroit. He played for St. Louis. He played for Carolina. Am I missing anyone? He played for Hartford. He got traded from St. Louis because he kind of took Janny's wife, which was actually a good thing because Janny was a dickhead, to tell you the honest truth. He was a jerk, very much so. So he ended up getting traded to Hartford and demanded a trade out of there because at that time that team was a disaster. And he got traded to Detroit. And did he play for Toronto? Pittsburgh Penguins, Hextall. Ron Francis played, obviously, for sure. General manager, St. Louis. Who is the St. Louis general manager now? It's the other Armstrong. It's another Armstrong, right? And then, of course, the coach certainly played. Wilson played. Wilson certainly played. One of the best, most underrated defensemen ever. What's his name from Tampa now? I always forget his name. I do not believe he played. John Ferguson Jr. a little bit. Benning, McKinnon played. McClellan and Chevy, I do believe, played. He was a goaltender, wasn't he? Yeah, Kevin Cheveldayoff was a goaltender. That's right, and I believe he was a goal. He played for Detroit. I believe he also played for Winnipeg. Looking up his playing career. Drafted by the New York Islanders. No, wrong Cheveldayoff, I guess. He did not play. He was drafted 16th overall by the New York Islanders, but he never actually played. And he was a defenseman, so I was wrong. I thought there was a Cheveldayoff that played that was... Who am I thinking of? There was a goaltender that played for Detroit. I thought his name was Cheveldayoff. Lou did not play in the NHL, no. John Casey, yeah, Minnesota Wild. That's a blast from the past name I haven't heard in a long time. John Casey. Looks like we're not going to be able to do the general manager one today. I'm not getting enough people in today. Yeah, he played for the Boston Bruins too, yeah. It used to be the general managers were generally not ex-players, but more and more now it's getting to be, everything runs on a trend, right? Like you get Eisman and Sakic, they do really well, and then next thing you know, they're going for NHL players again. Oh, I forgot Buffalo Sabres. Yeah, well, Adams played too, so there's another one. You just found a wiki list? Okay. Yeah, there's a ton of them. Esposito for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Wayne Gretzky was a general manager. Any Sutter that was a general manager. Who other general managers have played? There's probably Ken Dryden. Wasn't Ken Dryden the general manager of the Montreal Canadiens for a while? At least he was president for sure. In fact, most of the ex-Canadiens general managers were, I like doing it off the top of my head. Most of the ex-Canadiens general managers, Serge Savard, Dale Talon played. Dale Talon played for the Vancouver Canucks. Who was the general manager of the Kings before this? Wasn't Barry Melrose was a general manager for a while? Barry Melrose played. Who's the worst general manager of all time? New York Islanders. Wasn't that Barry Melrose? Mike Milbury. Garth Snow. Garth Snow, of course, played. Yeah. Mike Milbury. Both of them were really bad, but Mike Milbury was the worst. Did Brian Burke ever be? Was he ever a general manager? I don't think so. What about Rutherford? Melrose was coach for the Kings. He never was a general manager, right? Okay. Here's an interesting one. 10 current players that could be general managers later. What current players? Think of current players that could become general managers that you think that would become. Oh no, these are a long time ago. Oh my gosh. How long ago was this? 2011. Oh my gosh. Let's see how right they were. Manny Malhotra did not become a general manager. Martin St. Louis did not become a general manager. Chris Pronger was thought about going that direction, but never happened. Jerome McGinley, Hal Gill, Brendan Morrow. I think he was an executive for a little while, Brendan Morrow. But like Crosby, maybe? Brian Burke. Yeah, Brian Burke was one of the most, he was also, and I believe he did play too a little bit. Yeah, Brian Burke. That's a good one, he did play for a bit. I think he took one, didn't he take a stick to the, like broke his skull or something from a stick to the head? Oh yeah, thanks for coming in, CL. It's been pretty sparse today. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to do the rest of our general manager list today, unless we get an influx of people in here quick. But thanks for coming in. We're thinking about players, current players that could be general managers. I think Darren Stepan could be a general manager someday. Jonathan Toews. Guys are like really cerebral players and very professional. And very public. Derek Stepan, that's what I meant to say. Derek Stepan, yeah, very much so. Derek Stepan is one of the, you're going to love him in Carolina. He's an incredible team building guy. Apparently, his work in the room to bring cohesion in a dressing room is legendary. It's amazing. And that was one of the reasons why they had no problems bringing D'Angelo in, is they got Derek Stepan. Briere, I don't know what Briere is doing now. Other guys that could be general managers now. Usually guys that are going to be general managers are very well spoken. They're generally crazy, professional, very professional. Yeah, never worked out for Prongs. Old Danny boy, the pipes are calling. I think possibly Crosby. He's so devoted to the game. I could see him doing it. Maybe Bergeron. But he sort of keeps on the back, like he's not very, like, I don't know, up front. What's the word I'm looking for? These are just guys that are just, but Stepan, I just hear, is an amazing team builder. Chris Tanev, also in Calgary, is one of those kind of guys. Oh my gosh. Look who's here, John from Hot Take Hockey. How you doing, buddy? We're talking about, would you be able to be here a while? We were going to grade general managers. We got down to the Philadelphia Flyers, and we've been doing general manager grades. I was waiting for us to get 5 concurrent viewers, but we have 5 now. And if we can hold on to it for a little while, we may give it a shot. If you want to stick around, we can do that. Thanks for coming in, Hot Take Hockey. Right on. Oh, we're still one shy now, CL. Everybody's leaving on us. I think Hot Take just came in to say hi. Are you going to stick around? Okay, well, we got, bring some buddies. We're at 3 now. We need 5. Got people going in and out of here. It doesn't make sense to do it unless you have at least 5 people in here at one time. John Weichel's in. Okay. So we got, Weichel has been here the whole time. CL, Lauren, Weichel, and possibly Hot Take Hockey. Who took off? Got lots of people coming and going, yeah. If we can hold 5 for a while, then we'll do it. We already got the Senators last time. But it's got to be at least 5. Otherwise, it doesn't work. It's not the same. Who do you think, John from Hot Take Hockey, what player do you think could be a general manager? What player do you think could be a general manager that's playing now? Because we were talking about GMs and like there were ex-players and stuff like that. Sens was a B+. You have a good memory there, Lauren. Dean Lombardi, yeah. Dean Lombardi. I was surprised he never got another job after that. Maybe he didn't want to. I don't know. We had Derek Stepan as one hot take hockey because I've heard he's just an amazing guy in the room. Very extremely intelligent player. But if you look at the guys that are now, you got Chris Drury, very intelligent player. Sakic, of course, Yzerman. But then you got guys that were not really known that way as well. But I think very dedicated. They would have to be very dedicated to the game. Ryan O'Reilly. Hey, there's one I never thought of. Ryan O'Reilly. That's a gooder. I like that one. Mark Stone. Yeah, that's interesting too. He is extremely intelligent. Maybe as a coach, yeah. You know what? Let's screw it. Let's just do this grading because I don't think this concurrent viewer thing is working on my thing because we have more than 3 people in here. There's no doubt about that. So we'll just do it and probably more people will come and then they'll be like, oh, I wish I was here. So let's just do it. Why not? There's no rules at Pearls of Wisdom Industries, is there? Chuck Fletcher of the Philadelphia Flyers. We're grading them from A+ to F- hot take hockey. And we're starting with Chuck Fletcher. We did all of them already up until the Philadelphia Flyers. So Chuck Fletcher of the Philadelphia Flyers, what would you give it for a grade for Chuck Fletcher of the Philadelphia Flyers for what he's done so far? I mean, he made like really ridiculous moves like signing Gustafsson. As a general manager, as his whole career. Yeah, let's say as a Philadelphia Flyer. As a Philadelphia Flyer. Gustafsson was a terrible deal. Hot Take Hockey gives a B. Whiteshow gives D-. D- for Lauren. Woo! CL gets B+. Oh, yeah, that's right. CL's a Philadelphia Flyers fan, Hot Take Hockey. So, B-. B-, B+, B+, D-, D-. I like the Ellis deal. The Ellis deal was a great deal. But the question with him is like he's never been the same since his injury, and how much is he going to decline? But you got to make that deal. Rasmus Ristolainen, they're rolling the dice that they're going to be able to develop him fast because he was so poorly developed in Buffalo that to me it's a big roll of the dice. And signing Jones was bad. I got to give him a C-. I'll give him a C-. I don't think he's done very. The Ellis deal saved his butt. Really, what? Oh, Atkinson. The Atkinson deal wasn't bad, though. They needed a shooter. He had struggled in Columbus, but you could pretty much make a fair. Yeah. You can make a case that Voracek was never going to get better. Atkinson was in a tough situation in Columbus. He was an ex-40 goal scorer. He is a little guy. It's going to be interesting to see how his body is able to hold up now that he's getting older. But overall, they saved $2 million on the deal on the cap. I think it was a good deal. Ellis was a good deal. keeping Lawton was a good deal. Yeah, that was a good idea. But all the other ones are kind of not that great. And the Gustafsson deal was a big fat F minus. I couldn't believe it when I saw that. That was ridiculous. And the Jones deal, because you had a goalie coach that worked with him before, that guy has a sample size of about 7 years of suck. So, okay, B minus, D minus. What else do we have here? I thought I saw another D minus. CL B plus. CL gives everybody, if it's a Philadelphia Flyer, there's nobody gets less than a B plus if it's a Philadelphia Flyer. It doesn't matter who it is. CL. You almost can't even count that one. CL is the biggest homer you'll ever find, Hot Take Hockey. Which is fine. Guilty, yeah, for sure. So I got C minus. I'm not the low though. Lauren is the low. B plus, B minus. I mean, so it looks like we're going about C plus. C plus for Chuck Fletcher. All right. Next. What's next? Oh, the Pittsburgh Penguins. Hextall, it's kind of hard to... What has he been able to do? Rutherford. Wow, he went downhill hard, didn't he? Apparently, he was going to trade Letang for Dunn. That's what did him in. The Kapanen trade, bringing him back, was pretty good. Besides that, the role of CC Matheson, yeah, you got to give him maybe a C. He hasn't did anything. So there really hasn't been much to do there. Rutherford era C minus. Straight out of Springfield. Yeah. What's Hextall really done? Not much. Yeah, Rutherford won 2 cups. Yeah, it's recency bias for Rutherford. You can't really say much. You put a team together that won 2 cups. I agree, Lord. So I agree. Penguins will give him a C. Not much we can do with that one. So, Seattle Kraken. Francis. Kind of hard to tell, but like, I thought he'd get more draft picks than he did. I think most of the stuff he did was pretty vanilla. Just same old boring Ron Francis. I'll give him a C just because the CL got a B, really. Weichel got a B minus. CL, or sorry, changed it to C plus. Did we lose John? Off the wall hockey? Or not off the wall? C plus B minus B. B, C plus B. I give him a C, so because I thought it was just kind of a bore. I thought it was pretty boring like usual though. Didn't expect anything different. Weichel B minus, CLB. Weichel B minus, CL, Lauren B. And it looks like we've lost Hot Take Hockey. I don't think defense is, well, I think Susie's strong. It's okay. It's okay if they don't get injuries. If they get injuries, they're screwed. But people say, well, you can say that about every team. Some teams more than others. That's not really his fault, though. How are you going to build up a system if you don't have, depth? If it's your first time in the league, they just have no depth, which isn't really his fault. So it seems like we got like a B minus. I got a C. I'm going to see if I can get some guys on here. I'm going to see if I can get some guys here on TikTok to help us out. Because since we lost Hot Take Hockey. Can that hold up there? Go like that. We'll see if we can get some guys on TikTok. Until then, we have like 3 people in here or something like that. Keep going, I guess. We got nothing else to do. I may do this again when we have more people, but this will give us something to do. St. Louis Blues. Doug Armstrong. He's been there quite a while. C minus for what he's done recently. Oh, did I miss the Sharks? No surprise. Oh, yeah, I guess it should have been the Sharks first. Oh, well, we'll do the Sharks after this. St. Louis Blues. We'll do. I got him in the wrong order. But we'll do the Blues first. Armstrong. I don't know what he's doing. Like the problem was they kept all their firsts and they didn't get good enough players for them. And now they're in a rough situation where there looks like they're going to have to do what they always didn't want to do and go through a really rough rebuild. Not really rough. They got enough. They have enough assets to do a pretty quick rebuild, I guess, which I think was the whole point. But after this year is going to be the year. I don't like Falk and Krug, and I don't like that defense at all. CL D plus. Wow, a lot of people don't like it. It's funny that this Doug Armstrong did win a cup with the St. Louis Blues. It is time for a rebuild in St. Louis, and I just get this. I think they should identify that this year, like really identify that this year, because that team's not, again, if I'm a general manager with an older team like this, a fairly older team, you got to look at it and go, are we going to be able to beat Tampa, Colorado, or, in a 7-game series? And the likelihood is no. This team isn't going to do it. Yeah, he did win a cup, but it's been falling ever since they won the Cup, it's just getting tougher and tougher for the Blues. It's quite possible they don't even make the playoffs this year. So, yeah, Berube could be on the hot seat. I would say Berube and AV are the two biggest hot seaters out there right now. Blues C-, Whitechell C-, D+. I can't give him a... I got to give him a C because he still did win a Cup with this team. So, hey guys, how you doing? We're doing... we're grading general managers right now. So, if you guys want to do that on TikTok, go do so. So I give a C, C-, C-, D+. It doesn't look like my C matters. We got to give him a C-. I was the highest grade. Okay, now we'll do the San Jose Sharks. And this one's tough because I know for sure. How you doing, whoever's out there? We're grading general managers. Feel free to be part of this. Wilson has done awesome things in San Jose, but I think ownership got in the way with a lot of stuff. I don't believe he wanted to do the Carlson contract. I don't believe he wanted to do a lot of the stuff that happened there, but the fact is he did, and you got to give it a bad mark now. He held that team together really well when he wanted to trade Thornton, and Thornton kept on blocking him from doing it because there was no trade clause. You know, back then they should have been grabbing assets. D+. F+. You're giving him like one little good bonus grade there. That's an interesting one. You don't see too many F+. Who ever got an F+ in school? No, he didn't want to do it. That was all ownership. Carlson was all ownership for sure. But Jones was him. He brought in Jones, and Jones was a dumpster fire. I think it was his idea to sign Vasilevsky long term. He kept the team going in it really well. Through Thornton not waiving his no trade clause, he did really well. But the last couple of years, it's just been. He brought in Kane when everybody knew Kane was a disaster in the room. He brought in Kane. So, yeah, you got to give him a low mark for sure. You have no choice. We have no choice, right? C-, F+. That Kane scenario keeps on getting worse and worse. Yeah. Yeah, Kane is... That's really bad. So, I guess we got C-, D+, F+. It looks like a D. And it doesn't look like he's ever going to get fired, too, because the owners know that they're the ones that drop the ball. Like, that's the one, his job is saved forever because he could always say, like, I told you. Wilson can always tell the owners, I told you so. I told you not to do that contract, and now we're screwed. So, now things could change all all around for San Jose next year, because with Kane being gone, if that energy was that bad there, it really can suck the life out of a team, and they could totally change things around, but I'm skeptical for sure. But it's time to go do the doggy thing, so we'll listen to that. We'll go to our fine sponsors, and I'll be back here in just a little bit.
Greetings. This is Steel Flyers from the Steel Flyers All Sports Network, and we have two very special guests. We are delighted to be joined by Tracy Musser and Nicole Howard from the Canine Country Club Resorts. Tracy and Nicole are both managers for CCC Resorts and work at the Windsor or at the club, one of two locations both in Manheim, Pennsylvania. Congratulations on your 30th year anniversary of being in business. Let me start off by saying this. Steel Flyer stands behind this company 100%. Taking care of Steel Flyer's furry friend for the last 2 years now, and they are a one-stop shop for everything your furry friend needs. In fact, let's find out what our friends at CCC Resorts offer. Nicole, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
Doing great, thank you. What are some of the great boarding services that you guys offer, and what do we have to do in order to get our furry friends taken care of when we are unable to travel with them?
Well, we like to bring everybody in for a tour first. That way they can see the behind the scenes, they can see where they stay, they can see where they play, and then we explain all of the fun things that we can add on to their reservation, whether it be one of our packages, either a nature walk, a ball time, or even a cuddle time.
Oh, wow, that sounds great. Boy, it sure sounds like a resort to me. So how are you today, Tracy?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Tracy, tell me, is it true that you guys have both an indoor and an outdoor pool at the Windsor location?
It is true. We've got one of each, so we're able to offer year-round swimming. The indoor pool is a great option for dogs who are swimming for therapy or rehab. It's got that sloped entry so they can wade into the water. Our outdoor pool is a little bit larger, and it's 4 foot deep the whole way across. And both of them are saltwater pools, so it's really easy on the dog's skin and coat.
Wow, that's very awesome. So then during the summer months, you have a much deeper pool outside and then a sloped entry shallow pool indoors for the dogs. Tracy, tell the folks how we can get some pool time.
Well, the first thing everyone does is come for an intro swim. We use that time to make sure the dog is comfortable in the water. We make sure they know how to get out of the pool safely, and we go over all the pool rules and etiquette with the clients as well. After that, they're able to schedule private appointments where they have the pool to themselves, or they can invite friends and have a whole group swim going on.
So after a dip in the pool, then it would have to be off to the groomers, right? I mean, our furry friends cannot go out looking their best. Nicole, what are some of the great services your top-notch groomers provide?
Our groomers, they specialize in full service grooms. We can do the basics, whether it be just a bath and a brush out or a blowout. Or for the extra pampered pooches, we can do nail dremels, we can do deodorizing soaks, and also facials.
Wow, man, that sounds like a resort if you ask me. Tracy, I know one of the main programs here at CCC Resorts is the WAGS program. The Steel Flyers dog is enrolled in this program. So why don't you tell the folks what is involved in this and how they can get enrolled?
Yeah, the WAGS program is our primary daycare option at the Windsor. It's designed to be a structured program for people who are looking for a set routine for their dog. They all come on the same days each week, which allows them to have set friends, and we know exactly what's going on with each group. So we do a little bit more activities and we build more into their daily routine there. But we've got other daycare options as well for people looking for a little less commitment. We do an hourly care where you can drop them off and just pay by the hour. We also do a day stay option, which is great for the dogs that prefer human friends instead of making friends with other dogs. And then we have a traditional daycare option as well if you're looking for the occasional outing for your dog.
Wow, there you have it. A full service groomer, a daycare program, and an indoor and outdoor pool. What more could you ask for? Sure seems like CCC Resorts has everything covered. Remember, DOG, depend on God.
There you go, Canine Country Club. Fine supporters. We have some more sponsors coming in, so we're gonna have some different stuff coming up right away. But they will always be there for us. Those canine guys, they're fantastic. Okay. Whoops! I just dropped the TikTok, guys. I just dropped the TikTok, guys. Just wait. Come on. There we go. All right. So we got Brisebois from the Tampa Bay Lightning. How do you not give him anything other than like... How do you not give Brisebois anything other than an A, really? A for Tampa Bay Lightning. A, yeah, absolutely. You got to give Brisebois an A. I don't see how you could possibly give him anything less than an A. She hasn't made one mistake, hardly. What would be the mistake that Tampa Bay has made? Try to think of one mistake that Brisebois has made. Billy Smith, hello, how you doing? We're grading general managers here, Billy Smith. We're on Tampa Bay now. Well, we might have time later. You'll be able to fill in the rest of them if you stick around. CL's got A. Lauren's got A. Everybody, Bill Smith, big type in the chat for Bill Smith. Billy Smith. So, yeah, we're giving general managers grades. They went 4 and 4, right? If he would have protected 3 defensemen, it would have been, you would have lost Chernak, wouldn't you? Sergachev. No. Yeah, he did it. He did that just to get rid of one of his, to lose, because he knew he was going to lose a cap room anyways, and he had to lose somebody anyways. But you bring up a good point. You could have traded you could have traded Gord. Like, you think you would be able to get somebody for Gord. The only thing I could think of is that he thought that somebody would offer sheet somebody. You think they could have got somebody for Gord, yeah. Well, what would it... Yeah, no, he would have lost Chernak. Had made McDonough and Sergachev, he would have lost Chernak for sure. For sure. So, I don't blame him. But why couldn't he have traded Chernak before? Or why couldn't he have traded Gord before? I'm just surprised there wasn't a team out there that he couldn't have traded Gord for, that it wouldn't have hurt their expansion protection list that much, that he could have got something. But then I guess he's still going to lose somebody else, because he isn't going to lose Chernak. Yeah, I don't blame him. I don't blame him for doing that. There's no way I'm losing Chernak. So, I don't see there's one wrong move that he did. The point contract was really good. Yeah, yeah, that's true. I don't know if maybe they did. That if McDonough waives his no trade, you're going to have to give up picks for Seattle not to take him, because they're taking him for sure. No doubt about it. McDonough is going to be taken from Seattle. No doubt about it. So they would have to have given up picks or something to make it so they didn't pick anybody else. And then they still got to trade. They could have recouped those picks, I suppose, somewhat by trading Gord or whatever. So it's kind of a lateral move. No, Seattle's taking him for sure. He's got value. They could trade him right away. After what he did in the playoffs last year, after what they did in the playoffs last year, there would have been a lineup for him. Let's look at his contract here. McDonough is 32, 6.7 until he's for 4 more years till he's 36. Oh yeah, for sure. There would definitely be teams that would give a first-round draft pick for Ryan McDonough. LA. And they could take, Seattle could take money back, really. Yeah, they could have got a good haul for McDonough. There's no way they're not taking him. I guess that's what's next is the Leafs. So I got A+. I don't see how he made a mistake, so pretty darn good when you don't make a mistake. About the biggest mistake I think they could have made was giving a first for Gaudreau, but they won a cup, so that first seems like a good move. Not seeing Verhaeghe, the point production out of Verhaeghe. Toronto Maple Leafs. I don't give them that low. Like I said, the hard thing about the Leafs is that the Leafs could have. Hey, thanks for coming in, guys. You can put your. We're grading the Toronto Maple Leafs right now. A grade from A to F. If you want to put it in there. Thank you for sharing the live, GC. Am I following you? I am now. Follow me back, my friend. Lauren, D-. I just think the Tavares move was not a good move. That was the biggest thing for me. The Tavares move was the big thing for me. I just think that was a poor move. That being said, it's always going to hang over my head for me that if COVID didn't happen, this team would have been better than it was. I like the Jake Muzzin move. Getting Brody was a good move. Going out and getting Mrazek this year is the death knell, though. They're done. They're done. Mrazek is not the goaltender that's going to win a cup for you. Period. They're going for a cup. They might as well have got no goaltender at all and waited. Or what about Kemper? Colorado gave up a lot for him. They probably wouldn't have been able to do this. These players are making them look bad. I mean, let's face it, they weren't going to go, even if they got past Montreal, they weren't going to win with Campbell. They weren't. They're not going to win with Campbell. It doesn't matter that they lost to Montreal. They weren't going to win with Campbell. So you lose in the first round. So if they made it to the second round and they lost, is it going to be really that much worse? I mean, they won't win with Mrazek either. No. So that gives me 3 Apple Stall says Jack Campbell is good. Jack Campbell is okay. He's slightly above average goaltender. Okay, we can take a bit of a break from this. We have somebody on TikTok asking for thoughts on Dallas. I think Dallas is like just there. It all comes down to, yeah, my grade is a D, mostly because of that move. Mrazek was a bad move. Campbell is not the guy either, so that would be my grade. What do we got? D minus, D. It seems like D. Okay, we got somebody in TikTok asking, and you can come over 3 Apple Stall to My NHL Pearls of Wisdom on YouTube and join us here. That'd be awesome. So, am I following you, Apple Stall? I am now. Give you a follow me back. What do we think of the Dallas Stars? Ben getting worse. Seems like a good captain guy. That's the thing about the Dallas Stars is when is it all going to fall apart for Jamie Benn and Pavelski's now 38. Is Seguin going to come back from that injury and be anywhere near what he was before? I mean, they've got a lot of good things. Ropo Hintz can probably make up for Seguin quite a bit and be better this year. Robertson, of course, rocked it. He should be better unless he has a sophomore slump. And Heiskanen, we still haven't seen the best out of him. I mean, I think they're probably a playoff team, but that's a really tough division to be a playoff team in. But for me, it's all about Audie. It's all about Ottinger. Ottinger is a beast, and if he becomes as good as what I think he's going to be, that might be enough for that roster. The Blackhawks are taking my hometown player. What's this? GC expert? The Blackhawks? Hometown player. Are you from Texas? And you're talking about Jones? Ottinger is not average, Lauren. Okay, Lauren. Mark these words, everybody in the chat. Hockey GMC. Hawks win the cup this year? I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. As long as Fleury... Are you talking about Jones, GC expert? Ottinger at the time is top 20, but I think next year you're going to see Audie is going to be amazing. That kid is freaking awesome, man. Oh, you're a Hawks fan. We got a Hawks fan on YouTube here as well. I wouldn't call that a dream. Marc-Andre Fleury with that roster could freaking do it. He could. Look at where he brought Vegas. I don't think Vegas has, and this is nothing against Lehner. I think Lehner is really good. But I don't think Vegas has a chance now that Fleury is not the goaltender there in Vegas. CM Punk, what's that? Oil Barons, what's going on? Tage Harding from the Fort McMurray Oil Barons. Oh, you're from Fort McMurray, JGC. Sweet. Now you're a Fleury fan. Oh, yeah, I mean, as long as Fleury's there, you got a chance. If Fleury gets hot, forget about it. Forget about it. It barely matters what the team is in front of him. And Chicago's team in front of him is not bad at all. That's a pretty darn good team he's got in front of him this year. And Kirby Dach, I mean, Taves, Kane is still an offensive force. Can't play defense worth a darn, but he's still an amazing offensive force. DeBrincat, I mean, it's a solid team to have that a Hall of Fame goaltender like that up there. Well, I would say Fleury's better than Crawford, but Crawford is extremely underrated too. He was an amazing goaltender. I just think nothing against Crawford, but Fleury's like rare air goaltender. I've been saying that for a long time. Finally, people are starting to see it. Blackhawks need more depth, 3 Apple Stall says in the chat here. Blackhawks need more depth. They got a lot better depth this year. I don't think it's too bad. Oh, GC Expert just subscribed to the YouTube channel. Woo! Thanks a lot. There he is right there. Thanks for coming in. Big hype for GC Expert, the new guy. Woo! Perlo dance for GC Expert. Thanks for coming in, buddy. I know you're from the TikTok. That's awesome. I'm glad you came in. Fleury is your favorite player of all time? He's right up there with me, my friend. One of the most, not only a great goaltender, but one of the greatest humans to play the game. He couldn't get a classier, more genuine, classy guy than Marc-Andre Fleury, yet still ultra competitive at the same time. Oh, you stayed on three. He's on TikTok as well. Wow, he's Expert changed a different account. He's on TikTok and he's on YouTube. Wow, sweet. Oh, Crawford is your favorite. Okay. Oh, Crawford was amazing in Chicago. And they had such a strong team that he was kind of forgotten. You know, that team, those Chicago Cup teams were insane. Bufflin, Keith, Taves, Kane, what's his name that just retired? Seabrook, Ladd, Sod. I mean, freaking the list goes on. That team was nuts. Shaw. Crawford, yeah. I would have liked to see what he did if he went to New Jersey, but he couldn't do it. He didn't suck in Chicago, Lauren. He played really well in Chicago. Okay, so we got lots of people in here, so we'll keep on. I think it's going to come back to bite him in the butt, GC Expert, I should say. I think it's going to have an effect in the room. They basically begged him to come over from Pittsburgh, and I'd like to know if they promised him he'd be there for a long time or not, and then kind of. But as it turns out, Fleury's such a nice guy. He would never, like, he'll probably say, you know what, thank you for, he's just happy to be in the NHL and all that stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, that Chicago's a very interesting team this year, I think, for sure. Okay, so we got Toronto, got a D. Let's go to the next one here. We're almost to the end of it. Oh, wow. This should be funny. Brian Benning of the Vancouver Canucks. Brian Benning of the Vancouver Canucks. What are we giving for a grade for Brian Benning? Thank you for coming in, whoever's in there. We're grading general managers here on the show on my NHL Pearls of Wisdom. Vancouver. Brian Benning of the Vancouver Canucks. What are we giving for a grade for Brian Benning? I know what my grade is, so I'm waiting for everybody else to throw theirs out there yet. Jim Benning, not Brian. Yeah, right. I always do that. Brian Benning played in the league. Jim Benning. That's the thing with the Vancouver. Benning's tenure, they've drafted fantastic. Except for defensemen, but Levy probably would have been very good if he didn't have that serious injury. But, well, and they've got Hughes, who Jimbo gets a D+. It's bad trades, bad contracts. CL gives him a C. But, they drafted Peterson. They drafted Besser. They drafted Horvat, but that wasn't him. That wasn't Benning that drafted Horvat. They drafted Hughes. He's just bad at signing players, I agree. It's like the weirdest thing. If he would just draft and shut up, he'd be great. Coglander is another one, yeah. Demko, didn't they draft Demko too? The Miller trade was pretty good. Pearson, the trade was all right. The signing was kind of poopty. And then the Larson trade, that's a really bad contract as of right now, unless he improves a lot. But getting Garland was a good move. So, yeah, it's a lot of... You don't think Benning was behind? You think it was all... You think the Sedins were the ones that got Larson, maybe? HVAC Pro. Tyler Myers signing was really bad, yes. That's for sure. So we got a C and we got a D+, guys. Where's our new guy, by the way? Where's our new guy? GC expert. What's your rate? What's your score? What's your grade for Benning? No, you're not good with GMs? Okay. Are you just listening in? CL got C. Okay, buddy. That's fine. You can just listen in. That's cool. And say whatever you want. We got lots of time to finish these off. So if you want to talk about something else, you can. Did Weichel put in a... Lauren got D+, CL got C. I haven't seen anything from Weichel yet. Did you put one in for Benning Weichel? Jim Benning. He corrected me. Oh, Lawrence a D+. Come on, Weichel. Do one up, buddy. You got to have at least 4. I know that D-. Okay. I give him a C-. C- because of the drafting. It's the weirdest general manager ever. D+, C, D-, and C-. So that would be a D for me. I would say a D. Okay. Next. Vegas Golden Knights. Wow, this should be interesting. Kelly McCrimmon. Kelly McCrimmon, Vegas Golden Knights. Yeah, I think a lot of the shine came off the way they treated Fleury. All of a sudden, everybody forgets this is a team that went to the Cup Finals first year of their existence. I think it's looming large that this team could end up being a brutal, brutal rebuild in the next little while. Well, Vancouver was it Vancouver that drafted Jet Wu? Really? Yeah, it is an awesome name for sure. CL gives him a B. Weichel gives him a B-. C+ for Lauren. You look forward to Vegas' downfall. I mean, I have a hard time with this one. Because I love the fact that they went outside of the box and did what they did. I think McCrimmon is doing what his ownership tells him to do. The only thing is, and it was going to be difficult to do, is getting that number 1 center. So I got to give him a B. I got to give him a B. I don't like what happened with Fleury. I don't like what happened with Fleury either. But he's pretty much did everything you could ask him to do in what he was asked to do. Yeah, like he was asked to bring a contending team immediately out of nothing. They still have no depth whatsoever on that roster. If Vegas were to have a rash of injuries, they would be screwed. They got nobody to fill in that roster. And without Lehner, I like him, but I don't think they can win a cup now. So this team is going to be like really good and flame out without a cup. But on the same note, it was pretty impressive what he did. So I'm giving him a B. What do we got? Weichel B-, CL B. Patrick isn't the first line center, but yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with Patrick. That's going to have to be a complete turnaround there. I don't know. That was a bad trade with Ottawa getting Suzuki, but you got Pacioretty. You got to give something up. Oh, if you have injuries, yeah. One injury and Patrick is your number one center. That is not good. Not good at all. I wonder if they're going to try Dodonov as a center there. I think that might be what they're looking at doing. CLB, Whitechell B minus. What did Lauren have? C plus, Vegas C plus. I got to give him a B. So we'll give it B minus, I guess. Okay, next. By the way, tomorrow, do your homework for tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow afternoon, we're going to start doing a player that will get traded from every team. So do some homework on that. We're going to start doing the player most likely to be traded from every team tomorrow. Get out your journals. Put that down in your journal or what have you. I got 99 problems, but a center ain't one. That's true in Carolina. Okay. The Capitals. The Washington Capitals. Brian McClellan of the Washington Capitals. I don't know if it was totally his fault. Okay, thanks for coming in, JC Expert. Awesome. That was a bad trade, too. I don't think it's McCrimmon's fault at this case. I don't even think he's making these decisions anymore. I think it's the owner that's Leonis wants I don't know. This team should be rebuilding. We all know it. Everybody knows it. This team should be rebuilding now. They're not going to be a contender for ever. They're not a contender anymore. Their defense is not good enough. Losing Dylan, that defense going to do it? No. That defense ain't doing nothing. McClellan is just doing whatever the owners tell him to do, and he gets to sit on his fat salary for the next couple of years and watch Ovechkin try to break Gretzky's record, and that's it. I mean, this team's not going to be relevant now for a long time. There, I said it. Unless Samsonov goes absolutely off. I got to give them a bad... They need a better goaltender than Samsonov to have any chance at all. I would have been trying to get Bernier, Kemper, Fleury. I don't think he's on the hot seat because I don't think he's really made any of these decisions. I think this is just ownership telling them that we're signing Ovechkin, we're signing Backstrom, and that's it. They're just keeping the family together until everything goes south, and that's it. That's it. It's turning really bad, yeah. I'm going to give him a C because he's not really doing anything now. There's nothing really to do. What did everybody get him? We're on Washington, CL. Lauren had C+. We're on Washington. Whoever's in there, we're doing the Pearls. We're doing on the NHL Pearls of Wisdom show. We're grading every general manager in the league. We're on Washington. We're almost done now, and then we're just going to talk about whatever we're going to talk about. We're on the Caps, CL. Whitechell has D-. I had a C, C+. Nothing spectacular, I agree. And finally, the Winnipeg Jets, Shovel Day Off. Shovel Day Off's got a really hard job to begin with. Trying to get players to stay in Winnipeg. I thought he did pretty good at getting some value if Dubois turns out to play well, because he certainly didn't play well last year. It took him a long time to get some defensemen in there, but he did. Now, I'm the big thing with me, the big question mark with me with Winnipeg is how Nate Schmidt's going to be. That's the one that scares me. The thing is, Paul Maurice seems to get amazing things out of defensemen. So, but I haven't seen really anything out of Nate Schmidt that makes me think he's a 1-2 defenseman. And now he's going to be playing 1-2 defense. So, well, their defensemen are better, and I know it's going to be very difficult. It was difficult for him to get anybody in Winnipeg. Winnipeg, nobody wants to play in Winnipeg. I even think more than Edmonton. People want to play in Winnipeg less than they do in Edmonton. Winnipeg is actually colder than Edmonton. They have more wind. It's smaller. Edmonton has more of a city. Edmonton has more of a city feel than Winnipeg does. Like, it's not a sexy place, Winnipeg. There's not many places to go. Edmonton's closer to the mountains than Winnipeg. Manitoba is there's a saying in Manitoba that if you lose your dog, you can wait a couple days and still see it. Like if your dog runs away, if your dog ran away 4 hours ago, you could probably still see it. Like it is flat. There is nothing in Winnipeg. So they have a hard time getting guys. His job is way harder than it would be in another organization, no doubt about that. They got to build a family there that people want to stay. And I think he's done a pretty good job that way. They seem to have drafted all right. We'll see what Perfetti turns out to be. They drafted Stanley late. He looks like he's all right. I think he's done well. B-. CL says B-. That sounds about right. Lawrence is C+. Okay. Did you put D- down for the Jets? Whitechell? Wow. I'm going to give him a B. Because I'm going to give him a B. I think he's done good considering a lot of the stuff that he has to go through. Love Kopp, love Lowry. You got to love their top 9. You got to love their top. Well, they lost Appleton. That hurts. Love Ehlers. Whitechell C-. Okay. So I'd say B- then. Yeah, winters in Winnipeg are absolutely freaking brutal, man. Hey, Mario is in the house. Mario Ellis is in the... Mario Eliash is in the house on TikTok. Thanks for coming in, buddy. We just got finished grading everybody. What do you give for the Winnipeg Jets general manager, Cheveldayoff? Since you're in there, we'll throw that in there too. Oh, you can do Winnipeg Jets Cheveldayoff. You can do a bunch of them actually. You can throw in a couple picks just for the fun of it. You give him a B? Okay. I gave him a B as well. I think he's got a tough job there in Winnipeg. So tomorrow, Mario, we're going to be doing this from 5:30 to 7:30, or sorry. Tomorrow is from 3 to 5 Eastern in the afternoon. And we're going to be doing the player most likely to be traded from every team tomorrow. So you're going to have to get your work. That should be pretty interesting. Oh, shoot. That's too bad. Okay, well, the next time I'm doing it in the evening, Mario, will be Thursday. Thursday evening. We won't get it all done tomorrow. There's no way we're going to get it all done tomorrow. So you'll probably still be able to do it on Thursday. It's 7:30 to 9:30 Eastern. Oh, Jake, who's going to take Jake Gardner, Lauren? Already talking about the most likely player to be traded. Cool. Mario says he's going to be there. Woo! Habs Absolutely Hockey. Thanks for coming into the stream. We were rating general managers the last 2 days, Habs Absolutely Hockey. You are a Leafs fan, right, Mario? We gave Dubas a big D. Big D. What would you give Dubas, Mario? What would you give Habs Absolutely Hockey? What would you give Bergevin for his work in Montreal? I'll tell you what we gave him after you tell us what you would give him. Dubas is a D is exactly what we gave him, Mario. Since you're here, why don't we do this? We gave him a D. Actually, you'll be able to see what we gave everybody, Mario, because I'm going to do a TikTok on it. I did a TikTok for the coaches and all that. I don't know if you watched it, but I'll do a TikTok for Mario. I'll also do a YouTube video that'll be more in-depth about each pick for a general manager and what we gave them and stuff like that. Habs, that's what we gave him as a B as well. Phil Kessel is going to get traded, John Whitechell, for sure. We gave him a B, Habs. Absolutely Hockey. It was hard not to give him a B. I mean, he went for it. Now it sort of makes sense what Montreal was doing there. I think they knew Weber only had 1 year left in him, and they decided to go for it. I think he probably convinced Weber to go 1 more year and go through the pain. And I think he convinced them that he was going to go out and fill that roster with a playoff team. I do. I think that Weber probably would have did the surgery last year, but he convinced him to go 1 more year without it. They will call it the Kessel run. Okay. Yeah, you're giving everybody a sneak peek there, Weichel, on Phil Kessel being traded by Arizona. That almost for surely will be the player to be traded. I don't think they have anybody else to trade but Kessel there, unless they Phil the Thrill Kessel. And somebody's going to take that contract too. You can be sure as heck. There's somebody. Kessel still puts up points. He can still score. He can help out a power play. That team is absolutely disgusting, Mario. You are right. That team is not going anywhere. They won't be winning any cups for like the next decade. That team is pathetic. Philly is going to get him. Look at, we heard it here first. Mario says that Philadelphia is going to get him. That would have to be at the deadline, I think. But that makes sense. They need a shooter. That would be funny because, of course, he was a Pittsburgh Penguin. They're gonna they can go back to their old rink. Arizona will go back to their old rink, I think. The Star Wars Phil. Okay, what is that? I am not a Star Wars fan, Lauren, so I got to read it again. No, I don't get the Star Wars reference. I am so not a... I grew up... They'll have to go to the old one, and that is a terrible rink. That owner is just bleeding money in Arizona. Like, they should put him on... That guy is a god. Seriously, he is bleeding money for that team. Han Solo. Way over my head, dude. Somebody know what Lauren's talking about? I grew up in the Star Wars era, and I did not like Star Wars when I was a kid, if you can believe that. I was like the one kid that never wanted to play Star Wars. It just drove me nuts. Let's play Star Wars, Star Wars. Yeah, I know, Mario, you're probably from that area, but I think the league, it would be better for not to have another Canadian team. We need to expand in the United States, personally. About 12 parsecs away? Okay, you guys know. I'm sorry, but I know nothing about Star Wars. No, I'm Canadian. I'm Canadian. I like the NHL more than I do my country. To me, countries are countries. I happen to live here. I enjoy it. I love Canada, but we need the NHL. I want the NHL to compete with football and basketball and all that. And you're not going to get any more fans by putting a team in Quebec. That was too funny. I like hockey more than I do my country. Yeah, it's funny, but it's true. Wow, I guess that's a good thing to have that. Yeah, they do. They need more exposure. And then, once we get crushing it there, I'd love to see another team in Canada, but not right now. I'm not opposed to having a team in Canada, another team in Canada. I want to be big, huge. I want to have like lots and lots of teams for sure, but I just don't think it's the right time right now. No, I don't mind you with the Star Wars. You guys go nuts with Star Wars. It's fine. Mario and I will talk. I'm I try to like Star Wars too. It's not in me, man. It's like I don't like superhero movies. I don't like superhero movies. My wife loves them. She goes with my son to them, and I stay home and watch hockey. Yeah, that would be cool. As much as I don't. No, definitely not Star Trek. Oh my gosh, no. No, none of that stuff. None of that stuff. I'm not a sci-fi guy at all. About the closest thing I liked for sci-fi was X-Files. I would love to see a maritime team. That would be freaking awesome. A maritime team would be pretty cool. I don't know how you would do it, but thanks. Absolutely, hockey's back. Sweet. We got everybody in here now. X-Files is good. Yeah, I liked X-Files. The Mooseheads do pretty good, yeah. I think you could fill a building in Halifax. Don't you think so? Like everybody would go to that game. Everybody. It would be like a team in Halifax would be like the Green Bay Packers of football. Not a huge fan base, but you would fill the building for sure. No doubt about it. I think you would fill a building. Don't you guys agree? Or St. John's, Newfoundland, or something like that. Hamilton. Hamilton would fill a building. Oh, cool. I'd love to have you on, Mary. You can't figure out how to sign in YouTube? Shouldn't be that tough to do. It's pretty easy, I think. Mario's going to be a new subber. Woo! The Philadelphia Flyers want Jack Eichel. Well, I don't think they got enough to get him unless Couturier is involved, and I doubt that'll happen. Right on. I can't wait to have you, buddy. Bring all your friends. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subs. If I hit 1,000 subs, I can start making money on YouTube. So that would be cool. If you look at my videos, I get like 600-700 views from my videos, but nobody likes to sub to my channel. I don't know what it is. I get more views than guys with 6,000-7,000 subs, but nobody likes to sub to my channel. I don't know what it is. It's funny. I'm going to go a little long here because I'm having fun. It would cost, yeah. It would cost too much, CL. It would cost Couturier for sure. You'd have to give up Couturier in that deal. And he's 28 years old, so I don't know how much they'd want to go with a 28-year-old, but I think if it's going to work at all, Couturier would have to be part of the deal, I'm pretty sure. Jaromir Jagr is still playing. I believe he's still playing again this year. He said, I remember a quote saying he wanted to play till he was 50 years old. And I think he's 50 years old this year. And since he owns the team, he's probably not going to get cut. Yeah, a lot of people say that, but I don't believe it. Eichel is negative in the room. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he is the problem. Maybe he has been the problem the whole time here. But I don't think so. I think that team just made some brutal decisions. You would have, like O'Reilly said, that there had been a culture growing in there that people were happy to lose or something like that. Yeah, I don't think it's true. I think he's just getting a bad rep because of what's going on with all this stuff, and he's saying that he wanted to get out. I mean, O'Reilly called it. He said that they had to change the culture in there, and then they traded him for what he said. It's possible that O'Reilly said he wanted to leave, though. It's possible. I don't know. We'll find out more down the road. Hey, chill bro, how are you doing, my friend? You got to be here tomorrow. You got to be here tomorrow, chill bro. Or I don't know if you're available tomorrow. From 3 to 5 Eastern. We're going to be doing a player from each team that will be traded, that we think most likely will be traded. We were talking about O'Reilly. We were talking about O'Reilly that left Boston, or when he left Buffalo. And he said that he felt that there needed to be a culture change, that people have got too used to losing there, and that he said it was a horrible year and he didn't even feel like he wanted to play hockey. And they traded him. I'd like to know more about that, but it looks like to me like he accurately pointed out a culture problem, and unfortunately he did it publicly, and then won a cup and was the player of the, and he won the player of the year for the playoffs. What's the name of that freaking? So like that looked really bad. And after that all happened, like it just got straight downhill for Buffalo. That to me was the biggest bonehead move they made in Buffalo. So is O'Reilly, and everybody was saying O'Reilly was a problem. Like, oh, what a whiny brat, and all this, all that. And he goes to win a cup as a captain of the St. Louis Blues. I guess he wasn't a problem, was he? No room problem there. Evander Kane. The Evander Kane, picking up Evander Kane. Yeah, it was awesome, yeah. I'm sure you are. We have a St. Louis Blues fan on TikTok here. You remember Patrick Waugh not wanting him to leave? You went to the parade? Sweet. Oh, nice. In Game 6. The Evander thing. Yeah, what's going on? I heard there was more legal problems, but I haven't heard what those legal problems were with Evander Kane. But he's got a microscope on him now. So, well, has it come out that it's true that he gambled on his own team? Because if he did, that's it. His career's over. And that'll be a breach of contract. So he won't even be able to. He'll be penniless. Crazy. Guy needs to go get some help, man. Well, I mean, if he doesn't get caught for gambling on his own team, then he won't be broke because he's got 21 some odd million. If he goes and gets help for his gambling problem, he could still live a decent life, you know, like he could still do something in his life. He can claim bankruptcy, and then, you know, he could still make money. But I just want the guy to get help. Like, from what I understand, he's just a miserable human being. He sucks the life out of a room. Like, this is a guy that has some deep wounds from his past. Deep wounds, man. I love tennis, Chillabro. I love tennis. I have a Patreon. I do tennis picks for Patreon. I don't have many people right now because I get them all when hockey starts, but I love tennis. If you like, yeah. I just wanted him to get help. I know that's not the Evander Kane that is everything Evander Kane can be. Whatever's going on with him, like, anybody can turn their life around. Just go get help, dude. And, you know, he can come back as a just rocket. That kind of talent. I love tennis, Chillabro. Love it. Chillabro, why don't you sign yourself up for YouTube and go to My NHL Pearls of Wisdom and sub up with me, buddy? I loved watching those guys too. You're not a tennis fan now, Bjorn? I still am a tennis fan, but I loved all those guys. Or Johnny Mac. Those Johnny Mac, Jimmy Connors matches were freaking legendary. Unbelievable. Yeah, we'll see what happens with Kane, but I hear there's more stuff coming up, so more problems with Evander Kane, more legal issues. I have a feeling now that the microscope is on him, so much stuff is going to come out. I mean, when you got players saying that I'm not going to play next year, McEnroe is best. I'm not going to play next year if a guy's on my team. Like, we're talking about like the ultimate team sport where nobody, it's like so passe, like so, you never say anything bad about a player, especially in public, or let it leak in the media or anything like that. And these guys are flat out telling the media, I don't want to come back next year if Evander Kane is coming back. That is freaking cray-cray. Evander Kane said he paid the lady? What do you mean, White Joe? He paid what lady? You know, even if all of this happens and he goes and gets help, Evander Kane may be able to. Arizona's looking for a guy. Yeah. Kessel for Kane. Nobody's taking Kane. Nobody's taking Kane. There's no way. Until he goes and gets help and does changes, like, he doesn't have a chance. And then after that, he'll be so out of game shape he probably won't be able to play anyways. Yeah. So she's got to have proof. I wonder how much proof she has. It can't be just her word on that. She's got to have proof. So, but you know what, guys? I got to get going here. This was awesome again, as it always is. Oh, Top Shelf Hockey said that. Okay. Tomorrow, I'll be on from 3 to 5 Eastern. After the day after that, Mario will join us from 7:30 to 9:30. Check out the Steel Flyers All Sports Network. Mario. That's my our website that I'm affiliated with. Steel Flyers All Sports. Every sport, every team. We're growing. It's not just the Flyers. It's all teams all the time. You can find all my content on there and everything if you go over there. So that's www.steelflyers.com. Check it out. Okay, guys, that's my full 42. I got to go hang out with the fam and stuff. You guys have been amazing. Take care. See you tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody. Okay, bye.